You know, I really didn't want to come back to making content for like a video like this, but you know, it really would be the mommy vloggers agitating and disgusting the fuck out of me to actually motivate me to film and edit a video. So I, for one, have not been shy about how much I have a distaste for family channels and mommy vloggers alike. I have made several videos on my channel regarding the two subjects. And I kind of figured that we were going to be done with this for a little bit. It's typically the same people pulling the same shit over and over again. Like, we're gonna be fine for a little bit. And then Cheyenne uploaded a video where she forgot to edit out telling her son how to basically pose himself literally sobbing his eyes out for, you know, a thumbnail on YouTube. Yeah, that is apparently something mommy vloggers do now.
We appreciate it. I love you guys. Come here. Come closer for the video. Come closer. Come closer. Come closer. Put your head right here. Come closer. Down. Put your head down here. Act like you're crying. Really quick.
I am crying.
Go like this.
No, Mom, I'm actually seriously crying.
No, I know, but go like this for the video. Go like this. Put one hand up. Go like this. No, go like this. Put your hand like this. But let them see your mouth. Let them see your mouth.
I don't know, Mom, I'm actually crying.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm actually crying.
I know. Look at me. Look at me. Look at the camera. Look at the camera. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's over. It's over. It's over.
So basically what we have here is your typical mommy vlogger in the wild coaching her son on the proper way to cry in front of the camera. You know, the son that's actually fucking upset because they just found out that the puppy they got has parvo and I believe passed it on to their dog that they already had. And you know, just tell the sobbing child to position himself like this and to put his hand right here, but not in the way of his mouth because you need to be able to see that for the thumbnail that they're going to be taking. You know, not to make light of this, and I actually am being pretty serious when I do say this, but because of this trend of family vloggers and mommy vloggers and all that pulling the utmost bullshit with their kids, essentially exploiting their children in order to make content, I truly have a feeling that therapists in the future are going to be making a good amount of money from these children having to go to therapy for all the shit that they've been put through basically in order to create content. Again, because it's the parents valuing content over actually supporting and being there for their kids. What also really gets me with this is the fact that you can actually see the mom go from like a 180 of this is so sad, this is a horrible thing that's going on, to literally at the drop of a fucking dime, everything's good, we're fine, you're gonna be okay. Just a complete 180 of emotion. You have your son actually like sobbing next to you because he's probably thinking that his dogs are gonna die, and you're just playing into it, telling him to be more sad, look this way, do this, this, and this, and this for the camera. Absolute fucking psychopath behavior here, and I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. That's fucking insane. So unfortunately, this was not the end of everything Cheyenne would post regarding this little unfortunate situation, because she later took to Instagram to post on her story, you know, a little bit more about it. And by a little bit more about it, I mean your typical influencer bullshit.
Grow and make amazing decisions in the future for myself and the well-being of Christian. So that is why my DMs are off for today.
Also, I want to say, and I don't want to fucking come on here crying or act like I want sympathy or anything. I don't want any of that. I'm so disappointed in myself, and I have never been this upset with myself or disappointed or had this much anxiety over people messaging me death threats and things about Christian that are so past the level of cyberbullying and harassment than I've ever experienced in my life. I'm taking the day, 2 days, 3 days, whatever, off social media to prioritize myself and Christian. I fucked up so fucking bad and I'm so upset with myself, and I am being as hard as possible on myself and dealing with this in private, and that is why my comments are off for the extreme bullying and harassment and me being worried at this current moment for my and Christian's safety. So that's why the comments are off. If you want to see my longer explanation on the podcast.
Now, before we get into all this, I just want to quickly say that anybody that is directing anything towards Christian, the literal fucking child in this situation, who is actually like emotional and upset over, you know, his 2 dogs possibly being very fucking sick, needs to absolutely get bent. The child is in no way responsible for how the mother is acting, and he shouldn't have to face any repercussions for how shitty his mom is being. The child deserves no flack. They're clearly emotional and clearly deserve as much space and respect as possible. The mother, on the other hand, that's a different story to me. Jordan, are you disappointed in yourself and your actual actions, or are you disappointed in the fact that you got caught regarding all this? Jordan, do you consider this fucking up because you've clearly displayed, for everyone to fucking see how you quite literally did not care about your child's emotions and cared more about getting, a good thumbnail for your video? Or did you fuck up because you didn't edit your video properly and, this got exposed to the public? Now, don't get me wrong, I truly believe that she's gotten death threats and a ton of shit like that for this because, people on the internet are like that. Let's not kid ourselves here. She got caught. She is trying to maintain as much control as she can of the situation, and that includes basically cutting comments out. She's trying to keep remarks to a minimum, and that does include horrendous comments, but that also includes proper criticism of her terrible fucking actions. Yes, there's probably horrendous comments and DMs that she's gotten regarding the situation, and she does not deserve, death threats or anything like that. But negating everything to bullying and harassment is an absolute joke, especially because in a video she detailed how basically curse words fell into that category. People literally saw you try to coach your kid into crying the right way for a thumbnail. People are gonna have some words to say with you, Jordan. And trust me, they're not gonna be PG. And if that wasn't enough for you, she recently posted a video called 8 Years Later, I'm Done, Please Watch. Yes, Jordan, because people want to hear more about you basically saying how disappointed in yourself you are. But surprisingly, it's actually more than that, but not by much. The video basically goes into saying how after 8 years of making content, she's made the decision to remove her child from video making in general, and that does include deleting some old videos. But basically, she's come to terms with this because she's now realized it's wrong. Yeah, I wonder what might have brought upon that kind of realization, Jordan. That's the gist of the video. However, there are a couple things that I specifically want to talk about from this video, because truly, the absolute mommy vlogger fuckery of it all, it needs to be discussed.
I have posted 3 apologies about this so far. I went on the Dad Challenge podcast this morning. He asked to interview me. We answered so many questions about child exploitation and children on YouTube. I have made a commitment moving forward to not include my son in any videos. I've even went back and took off about 20 videos that had myself and Christian in them. I will continue to do so. It's going to take me a minute. I've been vlogging for 8 years, but I have made the decision that is 100% the healthiest for my child and his mental health to be off the camera. And I just want to let you guys know this as well. After 8 years of vlogging, I am making the decision to take Christian completely off my channel.
So here you have it. She apparently went on the Dad Challenge podcast and finally learned that maybe exploiting her child for monetization and content isn't a good idea. I mean, I'd hope you know already that using your kid for content is a bad idea, but congratulations, I guess.
This is not because of the hate or the backlash I'm getting right now, which is absolutely fucking so much and terrible and death threats and things that I believe are so past the limit. I fucked up so fucking bad, you guys. I'm so mad at myself.
Guys, I promise I didn't just decide to remove my kid from my videos after I exposed myself being a horrible mom and using my kid for content. I decided this because I'm a good mother after using him for content for 8 years. Now, to be fair, if what she's saying is true and she is removing videos of her kid, congratulations, you are doing the bare minimum and it's absolutely damage control. But it's really just the fact that this entire video is you reinforcing just all the shit you've gone through because you exposed yourself like this. It definitely screams damage control to me because you haven't made this about how this is affecting your kid. You've made this about how all these comments and all this backlash you rightfully deserve is impacting you. Because let's face it, even though you're saying that you're not going to include him in content now and you're taking down videos of him currently, if you actually edited that part of the video out, you would continue to do the exact goddamn thing. This isn't just a change of heart for you, this is literally damage control. Now the next part goes into the Dad Challenge podcast and how she didn't make shit from it like people are speculating, and how this podcast let her talk about the struggles she faces when uploading her child. Clearly it's not a struggle if you've been doing it for 8 years. But I really quickly want to break away from the whole child factor of this and just want to talk about the specific portion of what she's saying in this video.
Talked about this more on Josh's podcast if you want to check it out, and someone even commented oh, you're just promoting a podcast for monetization. I don't get a penny from that, nor do I want one. I pushed myself to have the courage to go on that podcast knowing he would probably fucking rip me to shreds, and he let me talk about my struggles with sharing my child online and with everything that comes with being an influencer, which I fucking hate that word. I don't think of myself as this.
You know, for someone who doesn't think of themselves as an influencer or anything like that, despite having, you know, a pretty big social media platform, both on YouTube and Instagram, you sure as shit like to act like a social media influencer based on all these ads. So just wondering, which is it, Jordan? Because you don't like the idea of yourself being called an influencer, but you sure as shit act like one. And regardless of you being an influencer or not, you kind of need to take the consequences for your actions. Kind of what happens when you're an adult.
I am so disappointed in myself as well. I cannot even tell you. And this is not just due to the recent backlash or people posting me. I posted an apology here on YouTube 3 days ago before these viral people even started posting me.
You know, it's really funny because when I was watching this video originally in the morning when I was getting ready for work, I went to go see the other video and oddly enough, it was privated. It's not private now, and the one that I'm actually talking about currently is no longer available as I'm making this. Obviously with Jordan seesawing constantly, that could very quickly change. But I just want to know, Jordan, which version of I fucked up, I'm disappointed in myself do you want us to watch? Because this one clearly talks about not including your son in any future content, and the other one is about the same thing, but minus one big detail.
I am deeply sorry to my audience and my loving, supportive followers that they saw a minute or two of such a poor, horrible decision making on my part, and that they now think that everything is disingenuous on my channel, or that moment, or that whole day we weren't emotional or we weren't being genuine, which we were. Our new puppy Rosie is still in the vet. She has parvo. I'm hoping she makes it. I don't even want to say the words that she's not going to make it, but our emotions that day were genuine. And I realize by me being fucking fake, it proves, or it shows, it makes you guys think that, well, what is real with her? Like, is everything fake? I totally get that. If I saw someone else do this, I would be like, that's fucking wrong. I am mad at myself. I'm so disappointed in myself. I had a huge talk with all my family today. All I can do is move forward, not include him in future content, take a step back from social media, reevaluate my mindset and what is reality, and fucking learn and grow from this. I am so sorry. I am sorry to my audience, but really mostly to my child.
I really, really love how all of this is about the audience, except that little tidbit at the end about the son. To me, at least, this is very clearly damage control. She's trying to be like, well, I'm not that bad of a mother. It was just like 1 to 2 minutes of a video, and like, it's not that bad. It's 1 to 2 minutes, guys. Don't worry, I'm not a bad mom. When, if you think about it, 1 to 2 minutes in, what did you say that you were moving? 20 plus videos of your son? Kind of amounts to a lot of time of, you know, you doing fucked up shit. And with that in mind, your audience has every right to question your authenticity on YouTube. Now, hear me out. I don't doubt that your son was clearly upset. I doubt that you were upset this entire time because you quickly turned on and off your emotions in that one clip so fucking fast. I don't doubt the scenario is sad, but given everything we were shown in that clip, I doubt that you're being as truthful with your audience about your emotions as you are. You wanted to show a certain emotion and you forced that certain emotion, and to me personally, that's weird as fuck. And don't excuse it as that's my YouTube brain, that's just fucking weird. But yeah, Jordan, you opened the door to people questioning your authenticity and you kind of have to deal with that now. You exploited your kid crying for content and you flipped your on and off switch for emotions very quickly. End of discussion. That is what we saw in the video, and that is why people are going to question you. Now the rest of the video was the same old, I'm disgusted with myself, I fucked up big time, yada yada yada. And the other video that she's trying to tell people to watch, the I am immensely disappointed in myself one, it's the same shit basically, except I distinctly remember that every time I watched it, there's no mention of removing her son from future videos and removing those old videos. That's nice. That was clearly a choice you decided to make and now have, I guess, maybe not decided to go through with it. That also might have been what was linked in this video, but it's gone now, so great. Good job, Jordan. You really are showing accountability here. You made a handful of apologies, and they are all very clearly damage control. Your focus is on how you've been impacted by all this, and only briefly mentioning Christian when it comes to YouTube comments and comments on your Instagram. It's trash mommy vlogger behavior, but what else could we expect from you? Now, I just want to end this video by bringing up this clip, which I feel really summarizes how big of a nightmare this whole ordeal is.
Us at the vet crying and being so emotional and everything that happened. But then, you know, if I do that, you know what people are going to say? Why are you filming your son crying? Why are you filming the emotional moments? But then if I don't film that, people say, were you really at the vet? Did she really have parvo? Was she really sick? What really happened? It's like if I don't film certain things, people don't even believe they happened. And if I do, people think I'm all up in my son's business. And this is our life. We've been vlogging our life forever. I don't film one thing more than I film the other. Someone said, why would you film a video about your dog having parvo? It's so emotional.
because I film my entire life. This is what we've always been doing. I don't film one video.
Now maybe I'm just kind of like branching out here for a second. This is the reason that family channels and mommy vloggers shouldn't exist on the internet. If you feel the need to record your whole life and document it fully and therefore exploit everything your child goes through in his life, all for the sake of some good old monetization, I truly think you need to seek help, because it's very clear as a content creator that you know what gets views given how you also do your titles and all that, and how you do your thumbnails as well. It's sick, but people like seeing kids crying on thumbnails. I don't get it. It's really fucking sad, but go off. Maybe if you're worried about how filming your whole life and including your child within that looks on the internet, which to me in general all looks bad, but that's because I think that exploitating your child's life before it even begins is a terrible thing. I think this just further proves why you shouldn't be doing this in the first place, or shouldn't include your child as a whole in the first place, which is kind of the underlying problems with channels like this. It's not just Jordan's, it's not just like mommy vloggers, it's family channels and like parenting channels that are like fully orientated around their kids. Children are not your tools to make content, and it's really unfortunate that shit like this is just becoming more and more a thing. Family channels and mommy vloggers alike are like super fucking fake in general. They are clearly like pushing this idea that they're authentic when everything is very clearly directed or staged. It's forced, none of these channels are authentic, and to pretend that they are anymore is incredibly fucking foolish, especially with how many cases that are exactly like this that have come out. It's a new form of child exploitation that's very similar, to me at least, to like child pageants, but 50 times worse, because this isn't just a couple of pageants here and there, this is your whole life on the internet for the rest of your life. And mind you, it's for profit. Because as much as you mommy vloggers and like family channels want to act like you don't make a lot off of YouTube, and trust me, I get it, I don't make jack shit off of YouTube. The ads that you can see all over Jordan's Instagram clearly shows that she's at least able to make money some other way. Granted, it's not YouTube, but YouTube and exploiting your child on YouTube definitely opened the gate for you to be able to advertise on your social media like that. Basically, I wish mommy vloggers and family channels a very happy rot in hell. And personally, if you get mad over that, die mad. You should be more upset over the shit that I've talked about today than me saying that they deserve to rot for that. But yeah, that is gonna do it for this video. Truly, my Disgusted Mommy Vloggers has reached an all-time high. I really didn't think we'd get there at this point. I thought this was gonna be like a little break before the Ace family at least does something fucked, but you know, glad to see that everybody's doing this fucked up shit now. There's really no way to defend this, especially after her saying that this has taken her 8 years to come to this choice. But this just further adds that you doing this now is just because you got exposed for doing some fucked up shit when you aren't editing your videos. But yeah, final thoughts. Mommy vloggers are proof that some people should not be parents, considering they would exploit their child for money and views. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Y'all are insane for that. Like more recently, we've seen a lot of celebrities like shy away from showing their like children and their babies and all that because they want to give them as much privacy as they can, despite, you know, the circumstances of being a celebrity. Meanwhile, y'all are literally monetizing them fucking sobbing. It's psychotic behavior to me. Truly screams fucking mental. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this train wreck of a discussion, because I didn't. My brain hurts just trying to comprehend all this. And I'm being honest, I really do hate that this was my first video back, but when I saw this video float around on Twitter of like her telling her kid to pose while he's fucking sobbing, the absolute rage I felt. The rage couldn't be summarized in 180 characters or less, so that is why it is not on Twitter, and here I am making a video mad about it. All I can hope for basically with this chick is that in the future she won't include her kid, but she has taken that video down saying she wasn't going to include him anymore, so truly who knows, it is probably just damage control, but I hope for the best in this situation. Anyways, until the next video, which is oddly going to be in the same vein of somebody exploitating something for monetary gain on YouTube. Very odd that all this fits together, I must say. I will see you guys later. Please take your birth control and use condoms. Clearly, we do not need any more mommy vloggers in the world today.